So just as we summarize, you're a product of other people.
Yes.
Holding your hands, giving you the space to,
Yes.
bring your ideas up. One of your mentors talks highly of you. I was just having a chat with you that I was looking for you because somebody highly recommended you for, that particular engagement. So at ELF Africa, mentorship is really at the center of almost all the programs that we run. So you are someone who has been in charge of people, but also somebody who's worked under other people. How important is mentorship to the young public servants who are just entering the public service space? Because many a times, supervisors have this supervisor's hat that they wear, that they have to, control you, check that you're doing the right thing and everything, and you listen from them and not actually the reverse. So how important is mentorship?
Wow, mentorship really is it is the fruit, or it is the fuel, it is the oil that one grows under. It is the nectar that the tree blossoms, or the flower blossoms. I'm trying to find a poetic way to describe addressing it, because without mentorship can either, the absence or presence of mentorship can either build or destroy. If you do not have a mentor as you join, your mind is still very optimistic. If you are a change-oriented individual, you have ideas, you have the drive, you have the zeal. So a mentor will guide. And guiding is not an authority issue. Guiding is someone who recognizes your passion and wants it to develop and blossom into a success story. So a mentor will guide, will show you the ropes, will tell you this is how you approach issues, how you approach different people, this is how you address your seniors in public service. Basic things like stand when a boss enters the meeting. If there is something that needs to be done, kazi ya mkono hapa na pale, you are the 20-something-year-old, don't wait to be told. Volunteer yourself and basic things. KYM. In fact, I keep, every time I get an opportunity to speak to young people, I tell them that hii kazi ya mkono is the best thing that you can do in your 20s. I know our young people are very ambitious. They want to get there quick. Kufika, we call it that. You want to be a boss, and you want to climb the ladder very fast. But that's not how life works. And you also want to be well grounded by the time you are a boss. But to be well grounded, you have to be exposed to environments where well-grounded people are operating, so that you can learn from them. But for you to be in those environments and you are yourself not a boss, to be in an environment where bosses are meeting, you have to find a role. And the role that no one wants to play is kazi ya mkono. You are the one who takes minutes. You are the ones who make sure there's tea and all these nitty-gritty logistics that nobody wants to do. You volunteer to do those types of things, and therefore you create your relevance in a meeting, and you are able to learn from that meeting. If you take minutes and you volunteer to take minutes in a meeting, you get to put together a report, learn how to do it, how it is done in the institution of government. But you also interact with the content. Sometimes that content is not an entry-level content. These decisions are being made, and you are seeing how those decisions are being made, the considerations. So you are learning a lot. But it is a mentor who will give you that opportunity to be in that space, and then guide you, tell you, you just keep quiet. You have your own ideas, you want to contribute, but you hold, then you come to your mentor and tell your mentor, when this was being discussed, I thought we could do A, B, C, D. Then they tell you, but you have to think about A, B, C, D. Then you realize, I would have burnt my fingers had I gone ahead to, so I've had great mentors in my time when I entered the public service, right from Dr. Sylvester Obongo, Mr. Emmanuel Lubembe, Dr. Joyce Nyamwea. She was the head of reforms then, very passionate about change. Dr. Mohamed Isahakia, a very strong, well-grounded public service administrator. And these are the people, right, to Anne Waiguru, Governor Anne Waiguru. She really gave me an opportunity at a time when, when we started working with her in 2013, I was 33. So to give a 33-year-old an opportunity to run a concept right from ideation into decision, into plans and budgets, and give the person the responsibility to oversee a budget of over 1-2 billion shillings a year. It's not easy. It's not easy, and because who are you? You know, in Kenya, the culture has always been that there you have to have a godfather who says this is my person. But I was no one's person. I was just a person with some good ideas, and so I really appreciate the opportunities that my mentors have given me in the public sector, but that ought not to be an exception. Every single office in the public sector, that ought to be the culture, where and that's traditionally in Africa, that's how we run our societies, where the elderly would train and culture and groom the warriors, then the warriors would identify the youth and also show them the ropes. You know, it's how you sustain a society and continue to improve. And as the elderly come out of the space, they come out with grace. They don't cling. We've had a challenge in Kenya where those who have been there since independence, it is only death that does them part.
They get into commitments with until death do us part kind of mentality. Until death do us part,
and they don't to hand over to a new generation, and therefore you have a failure of transition. So mentorship is really, it's really should be the way that we manage our transitions in public sector.
So as we close, I know so well you have worked around the young people. You talked about the Gen Z. You understand this what is happening at this particular time. What's the future for young people in the public service, or what should they go out there now? Speak to a Gen Z who has the ambition to work in the public service. What is their role now?
For the Gen Zs and millennials, millennials are also...
And they're now calling us vintage buddies.
The vintage buddies also suffer the same fate with the Gen Zs because they've also not been engaged as they ought to have been. I think this is the time for this generation, the Gen Zs, to assert themselves. Unfortunately, you have to be loud enough to be heard, because the leadership that is there, that has been there in the public sector especially, is not open to new ideas. So you have to assert yourselves through any means necessary, as long as it is within the law. So those that are joining the public service, they have to make their ideas known. They have to engage and participate. Consistently ask to be in a space where programs are being developed or programs are being implemented. Consistently, in Kenya we use the word jitume. You go for it. Give yourself to the assignment. If I try to translate that, and eventually your efforts will be recognized.
Yeah.
But be patient, be humble, be open to learning.
Yeah.
In public sector, we have experts who perhaps are the best in their disciplines.
Yeah.
And there is a lot you can learn from them if you are humble, if you are inquisitive, if you are willing to give yourself to the assignment. But let me give them hope that in this age of disruption, where intelligence will be the driver of the disruption, naturally the older generation, those that are unwilling to rethink and reorient to this new age, they will be phased out. So by 2032, you know, I see a lot of politicians talking about 2032. By 2032, majority of what we call our political and other leaders will be absolutely irrelevant. So whatever they talk about will be out of tune with majority of the society. They will look like they are living in their own world, and nobody will be listening to them. So the Gen Zs will have an opportunity to decide their fate and to put those that address their issues at critical positions of leadership. So there is hope. Yes.
Thank you so much, Dennis, for taking your time to be here with us today.
Thank you.
And this was a very good conversation. I can say a quality conversation.
Thank you.
Yes, to our viewers, this was another episode of the Serra Talks, an initiative of Emerging Leaders Foundation, where we bring the industry players, those guys who have been in the spaces where policies have been made, just to come and have their conversations, to click pictures of the good job you keep doing to make sure that this happens, this is brought to the public and to the young people. Thank you so much. So everybody else, subscribe. We continue having these conversations regularly. Thank you so much, Dennis. We look forward to having you more in these conversations.
Please. Thank you.